A boy must become a man to aid in the vanquishing of an ancient evil. Sounds pretty standard fantasy, don't it? Well, hang loose there, y'all, because we got quite another beast to talk about today, so stay tuned. Hey there, everyone. Thanks for tuning in again. This here's Super Saturday, the show where we discuss all things super and awesome. And today, I've got yet another box office dud that turned into a beloved cult classic, The 13th Warrior. Let's get into it. Well, thanks to my cousin for bringing this movie up in the comments in my Tabletop Tuesday video, as that comment directly inspired this here video. I got to thinking about it, rewatched a little last night, and thought, man, this movie is every bit as good enough to be a feature on Super Saturday. So here we are. Now, back in the summer of '97, Touchstone Pictures, which you all might recall as one of Disney's side companies, began production on the film then titled Eaters of the Dead. The title comes from the book the film was based on, The Eaters of the Dead by Michael Crichton. That novel has an interesting history as well, as Crichton had written way back in '76 as a response to a friend of his who was given a lecture on how literature was boring, including the epic Beowulf. Crichton disagreed, and the men argued so passionately that Crichton swore he'd retell the story in an interesting and exciting way. Well, he did. I read the book, and I enjoyed it, though I wouldn't necessarily call it memorable. Crichton's point still stands, however. Now, fast forward to Touchstone putting out a movie based on the same, with a script by William Wisher Jr. and Warren Lewis. The original cut of the film allegedly performed poorly at screening, prompting reshoots and such, so this is when McTiernan himself took more control over the picture. This delayed the film for over a year and ballooned the budget from 85 million to rumors have it over 100 million. But it finally got put together in the form we have now and saw the light of day. The film debuted August 27, 1999 at number 2, right behind The Sixth Sense, so it opened strong. However, it didn't stay there and ended up grossing just over 60 million on a budget that ranges from the 85 to 100 million. So yeah, this thing lost a ton of money. It flopped, it bombed, it just didn't do well in the theaters at all. However, it's worth noting I distinctly remember watching it at least 3 times myself, so there's a chunk of that revenue that was just me going back and rewatching it over and over. So you're welcome, Touchstone. McTiernan has both defended the film and lamented it. He defended the film for what it was, but also that there's a longer cut of the film running almost 3 hours that goes much more in depth into character development, more background, and but most importantly, more fight scenes. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. If they ever released a director's cut, I would absolutely buy the thing. On DVD, of course. Get your physical media. Anyway. I'm certain I don't need to rehash the plot here. Anyone who's watching this most likely already loves the film for what it is. A band of warriors on a mission to face monsters and supernatural evil. There's tense sieges, there's big bloody fights, there's heroic death scenes. It is fantastic. It has some of the most quotable lines of any movie I've watched. Some of my favorite moments, if y'all can indulge me for just a moment, include, the montage, watching Ahmed learning the Viking language by just listening to him. That is by far the best language learning scene I have ever encountered. I conjure it in my head constantly when I'm writing something or playing an RPG or somebody's learning a language or a skill or something. It's just a perfect montage scene. And I'm not alone in this impression. When I look online at the Reddits and the forums and the posts, everybody mentions the language montage scene as just being like peak montage. So there's that. Also, Ahmed stating he can't drink fermented wine or mead, and Herger, being Herger, laughs and tells him it's honey. Or when he's injured and the woman's going to put boiled down cow urine on him for the ammonia, I believe. And he's like, no, just give me water. And she's like, fine, tomorrow you'll be sick and oozing pus. It's all these little moments of showing Ahmed as this fish out of water character, of how all these things that he, being so civilized, would look down his nose at. But when he's there in the moment, he learns there's almost always a very good reason these things are the way they are. That people are different, they come from different experiences, different worlds, and have to find different ways to survive. But also that we're all human, that there's always this base humanness to everything we do, like how Ahmed condemned the raunchy parties of the Vikings, but that he himself was thrown out of his homeland for boinking a married woman. Humans gonna human, man. Humans gonna human. But moving on then. And of course, you can't mention awesome moments in this film without mentioning Bolvai's heroic death. The man went out a boss. He said the prayer, he vanquished the enemies, and he sat on his earned throne. I know the movie makes this into a mournful moment, but there's nothing at all mournful about that man's death. That day was a good day. My only real, I wouldn't even call it a complaint, I call it a wish, was that if they had included a true, actual berserker in the film. McTiernan touches on this with Ahmed when he realizes the Vendel are in fact some manner of human, and the knowledge drives him into a battle lust. But battle lust isn't the same as a true berserker fury episode, so that would have been my only wish list item was that that element of Viking culture could be included. But honestly, though, even saying that, I feel like a spoiled brat, as the film we got is so exceptional and awesome. I mean, why am I asking for even more? It's ungrateful. I'm a great ungrateful wretch. Now, those were some of the scenes and moments of the film that I love, and the many others besides will talk your ear off endlessly how awesome they are. But there's another element I never see mentioned. And when I sat down to do this here episode, I insisted I had to touch on it, and that's the real, the practical, and the tactical mindset of the warriors. See, here's the thing. You pick up another Sword and Sandals epic, and it's invariably going to be glorious battle and heroic moments, but they never discuss the logistics. They never touch on maneuvers or tactical advantage or, things that make sense if you're out there risking your life fighting. Like the military, like soldiers. These men know what they're doing. Hopefully tomorrow we can get some geese. A single line showing they're hunting as they travel, which lends itself to logistical support. Fighting forces need food and clean socks. Further, you see the men move with flanking positions. They don't just dogpile forward stupidly. The flanks are covered, the forces move in a real, practical way. During the first night's fight, the Dune Warrior yells, "Group point!" indicating he's charging forward and support should move in beside and behind so he doesn't get overwhelmed. I mean, it didn't work out for him, but that was his error in not checking who was guarding his six. You've got this untried and untested dude you've never met, and you're just going to charge ahead knowing he's not going to be able to support you. Not the best call, man. No disrespect. And further, they're covered by range support. I love this, like where Ahmed goes to move and the archer says, "Don't step in front of me." This adds mountains of believability and weight to what these men are doing. Don't step in front of me, you'll block my shot. It's not just Legolas just firing unlimited arrows around corners and such. This is real and tangible and just adds to Ahmed learning how to function as a fighter. It's fantastic. There are endless moments like this in the film. I could go on all day. And any one of us watching could as well, I suspect. So if I ever run into y'all, we'll have to chatter how good this film was because it's good. It's really good. If you haven't seen it, you need to go out and grab yourself a copy. It's cheap as can be across a variety of platforms. It's streaming everywhere. It's not hard to get access to this film. It wasn't given its due in the theater, but that's how it goes sometimes. However, we can enjoy it now. Maybe pop it in today, but only after you've kept the tradition alive and watched a good cartoon because it is Saturday, and that means Saturday morning cartoons. But I digress. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Give me a moment of your time. I appreciate y'all. Welcome to all the new faces. I hope you're enjoying the show. And that's about all I got here for today. I just wanted to sing the praises of this forgotten classic from back in the 90s. The 90s weren't all bad. But anyway, y'all have a great day. You get out there and watch yourself a good movie. Pop in a cartoon, read a comic, gather around the table, roll some dice, make some memories, and as always, have a good one.